So tell us a bit about your role at Qantas.
So at Qantas, I work within organisational development, and what that means is my team and I take care of leadership and professional development. So what that entails is from the design of any leadership or professional development training to the delivery. So that involves understanding the training needs from a leadership or professional development capabilities perspective, working with business units to understand their needs in that space, and potentially working with vendors as well to develop some of our programs. I also look after capability frameworks, so that's the foundation of these programs, and so it's more about understanding what those future focused capabilities are within the industry, but also how it applies to Qantas.
Okay. What's a typical day look like for you at work?
So that differs, like I'm sure a lot of people would say. It's quite varied. So typically it could be spending a whole day in a training session, or it could be working with stakeholders, engaging stakeholders to understand what their needs are and working collaboratively with them to address their needs. But it can also just mean speaking to a lot of different people. So we're very much about collaboration and working with the business. So understanding their needs through stakeholder engagement, for example, conducting workshops or interviews. It can range from actually working on the design of some of the training content to just, I guess, managing and delivering the content on the days. So it kind of varies day on day, which I think I like, yeah.
Yeah, definitely that diversity. I
Yeah.
guess these are the two things which is kind of like a theme with the other interviews as well, like collaboration and diversity of work.
Yes.
Because like I think we had another interview. You also mentioned that you talk to like stakeholders and you just talk a lot and you communicate a lot and
Yeah.
collaborate. So that's I guess one thing that Oxides do a lot, and then we bring our own site principles and expertise
Yes.
with that. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
definitely like core activities.
Yeah.
When did you first know you wanted to work in organizational psychology?
So I think I knew that I was interested in organisational psychology in third year of uni in my undergrad, where I did an elective at UNSW on organisational psychology. So that was the first time I was exposed to organisational psychology and actually realised there was something else outside of clinical psychology. So I did a development program that consulted for firms in Hong Kong, which was a great experience, and it kind of exposed me to like the corporate side of the world and career, less so of the psych lens to it. But I think it was from then that I realized that I wanted to work within organizations and potentially in the future do a master's of organizational psychology. So I think that was the moment for me.
I guess that's also very similar to the other interviews because you get
Yeah.
like your first exposure with these electives and then you understand what was something that you really loved about that elective. What was the thing that you felt like, okay, this is it? Even like, you got to know that there's something outside of clinical, but what was in it, the elective?
I think it was just the fact that it kind of just made sense to me, like how psychology could be applied to organizations. Like it was just through that course that it clicked for me. So we were going through like a selection process, for example, and one of the assignments I think was about creating like an assessment center or some sort of selection criteria, etc. And so through that, I kind of realized that you actually have like this impact on other people um, through that psychology lens in organizational psychology. And obviously, clinical psychology has a massive impact on like clients as well. But I think I didn't realize that from an organizational psychology perspective, which is why it had a big impact on me and why I wanted to eventually pursue it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense. Tell us about your journey to the current job.
So it's a long-winded journey. So after my undergrad, so I did a bachelor in psychology at UNSW with honours. So after that, I kind of didn't know if I wanted to pursue a master's in organisational psychology yet. So what that meant was I started as a graduate in a consulting firm. So at Accenture, I was in their talent and organisational psychology practice, which consulted on people matters, but I was working on finance transformation projects. So It was a steep learning curve. I learned a lot from a professional sense and about finance transformation. But from there, I knew that I wanted to play more in the people space. So I decided to, after that, move to a startup or a boutique consulting firm focusing on culture and engagement surveys. So I did that for about a year, learned a lot of skills on survey design, culture diagnostics, employee experience, which was great. So learning a whole different set of skills, which I thought was a bit more psych applied. But I thought what was still missing for me was how I could apply my psychology background to my roles. And that's when I realized I wanted to apply for the Masters of Organisational Psychology. And that's when I started the program full-time while working part-time, and then eventually moved back to consulting in a bigger firm through placement. So I did my placement at Deloitte in their human capital consulting team. My other placement was at Allianz. Allianz doing change management. So that was also a different experience for me. I've done change management before, but it was applying that psychology lens and human focus lens to it, which was nice. And that eventually led me to where I am now. So after I finished my master's, I was kind of thinking that I wanted to do something more than consulting. I've been in consulting for my whole career so far, so I wanted to make a different shift and try a different challenge, and that's how I came into my role as Organisational Development Manager at Qantas.
That's quite a journey.
Yeah, exactly. So feel free to cut some of it out.
I know, that's good. I mean, I guess people want to know. That's why we're making the video in the first place, because people come from different experiences, and a lot of people like you, like it'll be good for you to leverage your experience in the master's course. Must have helped. But and with that like kind of experience, you go in with a particular focus, like you know what you want to get out of it. So that's always a good thing. What's the story behind how you landed this job?
So really, I saw the job ad on LinkedIn and thought it was a good fit for me in terms of where I wanted to go next in my career, and applied for the role in LinkedIn and got the job.
How was the recruitment process like?
Yeah.
Like, coming from like a graduate to like switching to this like Qantas, which is a big organization. So like just tell me a little bit about your journey there.
I think my perspective might be a bit different because I had done previous job interviews moving from the different organizations that I've worked with. So I think in this I guess part of my career and moving into this role, the interview was more about me as a psych now and being able to offer and add value from a psych lens as well, which I think helped in me gaining this job as well. So I think that was just a little twist in terms of how I landed this job and the interview process, as opposed to like the previous interviews that I've done before.
So was this job like open to other
Yes.
So it was like, so not just psychs, they could hire HR or something like that. So like you have to propose your value.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to demonstrate how you would add value, like why they should hire you, obviously, like any other interview. And I think the psych lens that I provide helped with that.
What's something you absolutely love about working in organizational psychology?
For me, I think it's the diversity. So you can work like with individuals, creating interventions, helping them develop, to team building interventions, which all add up to like the organizational level. So I think the variety from like training to human factors if you really want to anything really. But I think it's that variety and the learning opportunities through that that I love about it.
What is your best career advice for current psychology students?
I would say take your time in knowing what you want out of your career. You don't really need to know what you want to do in the future now. So just take your time with exploring, understanding what you like, understanding what you don't like. And so I think that diversity really helps with that. In trying different things, learning what you enjoy, what you don't enjoy, and you don't need to know what you want to be when you grow up. You can take the time to figure that out, given that a lot of people have multiple careers in their lifetime now.